Munich's English Garden, bursting with autumnal colour, was the location for our catch-up with lighting designer and programmer Marc Lorenz. We talked about his career, his teaching activities, the VLLV, the new German Association for Lighting and Media Designers and Programmers, and how he loves all the crazy and creative people who make this industry rock. So Marc, can you tell me how you know this location?
Yeah, we're here at the Munich Standing Wave, here a surfers hotspot in Munich. It's one of the first places I ever been to when I was as a child in Munich. So when I visited Munich.
Did you surf?
No, I'm not. I can't surf at all. But it's a place I still remember, and it's one of the places to go to when you're here in Munich.
You're a very experienced lighting designer, lighting director, programmer. You also teach and you mentor people. So that's a whole complementary sort of range of skills. How do they all fit together?
I think you can be a good teacher if you had been that experience before, what I did. So throughout my whole career, I also had met people who were mentoring me. So I wanted to give a little bit back of that. I started all that when I was like 14 or 16 in school, and there had been no one teaching me stuff. So I learned a lot of stuff by myself, and I learned it on the street, like we say here in Germany, and then so I went on, and then I met a guy from Switzerland who taught me a lot. That was when I was about 18, and then my professional work went on and on. Then I started as a programmer, and from that point on, then you met the first band, you met some LDs. For me, it was, for example, Gunther Hecker, who gave my career a big push. And then you finally get into the associate LD and stuff like that. So it was just like a learning by doing thing. So around the time with Hawk 3, I was working very much with Hawk at that point. And then I got a beta tester for a high-end system, then got into development of Hawk 4. And during that time I was asked by the German distributor, hey, we need a trainer and you're experienced, can you do that? And I was like, ooh, wow, I never did something like that. But hey, you know, the console is just like explaining it. And I said, yeah, okay, let's give it a try. And so I did my first PowerPoint presentation for the trainings and went on, and the rest is history. And then I got into also development of Hawk 4. Now I'm also in the advisory group for Hawk 4 and stuff like that. So it was a very organic thing for me, and I think it fits very good together, and it's part of my character as well, like explaining stuff to people. I like that. I like the interaction with people. So it's not so, there are for sure people who are good programmers but are not good teachers. There are also quite very good teachers who can explain something very good, but who are not good into when it comes to communicating on tour or whatever, or being on tour, and they rather stay in their classroom and do their stuff there. So, but I found myself loving that mixture of doing things. I wouldn't like to be just being the alpha testing guy or just only being the guy teaching. I love the mixture of being on the road, going into a coach with almost sleepless nights, and waking up in an unknown town and starting all over again. Yeah, so, but I love that mixture. In the back we see the Monopterus. It's a copy of a Greek round temple that had been built in the 19th century for Ludwig I, one of the kings from Bavaria.
What do you most enjoy about your job, about the many facets of your job?
The mixture between technology and people business. As you know, our industry is so people related, and technology is involving and developing very, very fast. I like that, working with new stuff, developing new stuff. That's great for me. Also, sometimes you have a crazy idea, or when working with Gunther Hecker, for example, he has crazy ideas, and how can we bring these ideas to life? This is something which I really, really like about our industry. And also then meeting the people, because there are so many facets and so many crazy people. Whenever you met, for example, Richard Bellevue, he's fantastic, or a person like Ola Melsick, Steve Warren, with a passion about their business and about their product. And this is really inspiring, and that's what I really love about our business.
Yeah, you've certainly mentioned some larger than life characters there. you mentioned Gunter Hecker. That was you worked on quite an interesting project with Robe, didn't you, with Gunter Hecker? Can you just tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, it was we had been I think actually the first tour where we had the Robe Color Spot 1200 EAT out there at that point, the first 24 fixtures. Back in the days it was with the Rasmus. And then we took them on other productions, and then we had one idea where Gunter wanted to have like a spinning set piece, and he wanted could control that from a lighting console. And the idea was then, okay, let's just take the basement of a moving light. So we contacted some manufacturers, and some said, oh no, not interested. And with Robe we found an open ear, and I think it took from the first initial call to the first prototype, it was 1 week.
What have you been doing during the lockdown? I mean, the lockdown since March, not the most recent one, which is today.
Yeah, we finally found the time to found an association for lighting designers, operators, and programmers and also including media server programmers and operators in Germany, because that was one thing which was missing here a bit. We had other associations like ISDV, VPLT and stuff like that, but we didn't have any specific one for us and our tasks.
And that's the VLLV, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And what are the sort of immediate objectives of that organisation?
We have some special tasks as a lighting designer, operator, and also media operator. One thing is, for example, when it is the copyright thing. When you do a show, who owns the show file? Is it whose intellectual property is it? Or also when it comes to payment. So, for example, I program the show, and next year the show will continue, and my show file is used. Who will do I get paid for again? This is something which we really miss here in Germany, or had been missed. Now we have the VLLV. And this is a task we take care of, like those intellectual property things, also then payment stuff, and also taking care about young people, like students, because we now have the first options where you can study lighting design or event engineering and stuff like that. And our task is also to give the foundation to build up then a real professional definition of being a lighting designer, being a programmer, and so on. So yeah, and we now had the time to do that finally.
What do you feel at this moment in time are the greatest strengths of the industry as a whole?
Our people. So our people is definitely the strength of our industry. As I see with the association, I see really good, because we have also some supporters which are members in that association, where we have manufacturers there. Robe is for sure also one of them. We have GLP, we have Robe, we have Light Power, we have Ayrton, we have AV Stumpfel and JB Lighting at the moment. And it's also great to see how these people, even if they are competitors, get together and working on tasks. For example, that copyright task, seeing that passion in the people about their product. It's not just like we build something like a car or so. It's not, everybody is passionate what he or she is doing about that product. And this is what I found very interesting, not just from manufacturer wise, also when it comes to the creative side, And when I had a chat with Martin Heining a while ago, and he was telling to me, for him it was always giving him goosebumps when the house lights go on after a concert, when the concert is over, and the people, you see the smile in the face of the people which we had been part of participating and giving these 2 hours of good feelings and good vibes, and when you walk by and you said, okay, I've done it right. And this is something which I really like about our industry. What makes it so different, we are not those gray guys like which we know from Momo, from the book, where everybody's wearing suit and tie and so on. And so it's a bunch of crazy people still there, and that's what I love. Even if there's a big business nowadays, but still we kept this craziness and this wonderful,
that kind of independent spirit.
Yeah.
Yes.
It might be because of that, because we're still young, our industry is now it has been grown up, we're now 30 or 40, something like that, but we're still kept our punk attitude.
And long may it continue.